In this video, I'm ranking all the major world religions and debunking all save one. The standards are strict: internal consistency, historical credibility, philosophical coherence, and application to human nature, including the success of the civilizations they built. Pure materialism reduces everything to matter, but it has two fatal flaws. First, it cannot solve the hard problem of consciousness. A worldview that can't explain you can't explain the world. Second, it violates the law of causality, proposing eternal, uncaused matter as a brute fact, which is unscientific and illogical. Historically, it's a civilizational dead end, leading to collapsing birth rates and existential nihilism, as seen in the advanced decay of modern secular states. It has never, and can never, build a lasting society. Nonsense tier. New Age Spiritualism is just nihilism in a spiritual costume. By making truth entirely subjective, it makes the very concept meaningless. It's a Build-A-Bear religion where anything goes, which means nothing matters. It's an aesthetic, not a worldview, and no civilization will ever be founded on it. Nonsense tier. Buddhism's core doctrine of anatta, no self, completely undermines the mechanism of karma and rebirth. If there's no continuous self, what is reincarnated? What accumulates karma? The system depends on what it denies. Historically, Buddhist societies often struggled with political instability and were frequently dominated by their more robust neighbors. Deficient tier. Zoroastrianism is often called the oldest monotheistic religion, but that's wrong. Zoroastrianism is fundamentally dualistic, with two co-eternal powers. But if both are ultimate, neither is. The worldview collapses into metaphysical instability because of the origin of this duality is unexplained. Historically, while it inspired the Persian Empire, it was ultimately eclipsed by Islam, and today exists only as a minor faith with no sovereign society to its name. Self-defeating tier. Taoism. The Tao Te Ching begins by saying that true Tao cannot be described, and then describes it for 81 chapters. Its philosophy of passive harmony provides no objective moral framework for confronting evil. Historically, it never produced a functioning civilization. China had to rely on Confucianism and legalism for statecraft. Deficient tier. Paganism's gods are weak, limited contingent beings, personifications of nature. They are effects, not a first cause, and cannot serve as the ultimate foundation for reality. The historical record shows the pagan world was in a state of moral and philosophical decline, actively seeking more robust systems long before it was replaced. It consistently loses in open cultural competition. Paganism fails for the same reason it failed historically. Its gods are too small. Nonsense tier. Hinduism's greatest strength, diversity, is also its biggest weakness. Mutually exclusive claims coexist with no unifying truth criterion. Its social system, the caste structure, is a profound ethical failure. A religion that affirms everything stands for nothing. While it sustained a massive civilization, internal divisions and social rigidity made it chronically vulnerable to conquest and political fragmentation, from Islamic invaders to the British. Self-defeating tier. Sikhism has admirable ethics, but its metaphysics are unstable. A fusion of the personal god of Islam with the impersonal karma system of Hinduism. It's a political compromise first and a religion second. Its geopolitical impact was regional and limited, unable to compete with larger imperial forces in the long run. Self-defeating tier. Deism recognizes the necessity of a monotheistic creator god, so they get the problem of causality right. However, it then claims that God is an impersonal force with no role other than creation. This fails with the moral argument. Is morality objective? If yes, then deism is false. If not, then deism is pointless. Deism has never produced a successful civilization of any kind, and has, at most, impacted some Enlightenment thinkers who had to borrow their morality from Christianity. A God that doesn't interact is indistinguishable from a God that doesn't exist. Incomplete tier. Islam is a powerful, historically successful system, and its monotheism is philosophically strong. But it faces the Islamic dilemma. It claims to confirm the Torah and Gospel, yet contradicts them on key points. If the Torah and Gospel were corrupted, then Islam contradicts its own claim that God perfectly preserves his revelations. Furthermore, the historical record robustly supports the integrity of the biblical texts, making the claim of corruption historically untenable. It produced brilliant empires, but they consistently stagnated and were ultimately eclipsed by the West. Incomplete tier. Rabbinic Judaism is a masterpiece of cultural survival. Like Islam, its monotheism is philosophically strong. Rabbinic Judaism was created after the Second Temple's destruction and the rejection of the fulfillment of Judaism in Christ. It replaced divine mandates with man-made systems of legalism, which often contradicts itself and the Torah. Rabbinic Judaism is a survival strategy for a people, not a true worldview. Incomplete tier. Christianity alone succeeds in all categories. It provides a philosophically sound first cause, a historically grounded and most importantly falsifiable foundation in the public resurrection of Christ, and a diagnosis of human nature that perfectly matches reality. It has the best resolution for the problem of evil, a perpetual struggle for other religions. While this is a summary, I've detailed a rigorous logical case in a previous video, The Forgotten Logic of Christianity. Many have tried to disprove Christianity over these last 2,000 years, and for 2 millennia, theologians, historians, and archaeologists have held the line. All anti-Christian arguments brought up today have already been answered satisfactorily hundreds of times for centuries. Additionally, it produced the greatest civilizations in history, not just in power and influence, but also in the defense of the sacredness of human life. Christianity is in a tier of its own, because Christ is the way, the truth, and the life, and none come to the Father except through him. That concludes the tier list. If there are any other religions or cults you'd like to see ranked, share them in the comments below.